Okay, we have to talk about feedback because all I hear is feedback, feedback, feedback. Let me give you my feedback. People need feedback. Maybe feedback is not the right way or method to improve employee performance. Okay? And I tell you why. When I was 15, I broke into the school counselor's office, the psychologist's office, and I stole my file, I read it, and I destroyed it. There you are. Here is your feedback for you. Why did I destroy? Because nothing was true. There was nothing that would reflect the true Sylvia. And why? First of all, I hated the whole process. Every year we had to go through this like annual appraisal, yeah? And every year we went through this psychological evaluation. And because I never met those guys. I met them once a year when we had to sit down with them. And during the year, yes, they were passing by, but we didn't really care. And even then, I hated the idea that somebody is giving his or her feedback about me or evaluating me. You don't even know me. And so each time when I was sent for the evaluation, I was really bad. Okay, let's just put it this way. So every question they asked, I answered the wrong one. When they presented me with the picture that you need to analyze and understand, I said something completely different. And so obviously my file was a mess, but they took it for granted, and they went based on that piece of file or piece of paper, and that upset me. So I broke into the office, I stole it, and I destroyed it. And this is what we do to people in organizations as well. We give them the feedback. And the problem is with feedback is not the technique, because we came up with millions of techniques, okay, from sandwich technique to all the other sort of techniques, like forget it. But everybody disregards other factors that is important when somebody is giving feedback to somebody else. And that is trust, and that is respect, and that is credibility. If I don't trust you, like I didn't trust those school counselors or psychologists, I'm not going to tell you anything, because you will use it against me at some point, and I know it, okay? And we do the same at organizations. And credibility. Some managers and leaders, the staff don't have any credibility. The staff don't respect them personally or professionally. Now, when somebody is coming to me, Sylvia, let me give you some feedback, and I have zero respect towards the person, what am I going to say? Oh, sure, okay, that's a really good idea. Thank you very much. I go, and that's it. The conversation is over, and I pay zero attention to what the person actually said. So feedback is, yes, we need to give it sometimes, but it depends on so many different things. And the best way to do that probably is really finding that person who is trusted, who is credible. Because my teachers, I had 3 different teachers. I loved them, and I would tell them everything. But these school counselors, never anything. So, and they could tell me off, they could reprimand me, I wouldn't say anything. And even up until today, there are leaders and managers who tell me, oh, maybe we should do that. I always listen, yes, absolutely, yeah, that's fantastic. I note it down. And then I go to those people who I professionally and personally respect, and I run through the idea, and then I take it from there. I don't take feedback from those who are actually I don't trust. So, yes, that's about feedback for me. So your annual appraisal depends on how the staff perceive you. Do they trust you? Do they respect you? If not, probably it's just a waste of time and waste of energy. I'll give you an example why I just remembered. So there was this GM once. He came for the morning meeting, and we were sitting in the boardroom. And he came 9 o'clock, super angry, and he had a pile of paper. And then he comes in to the boardroom, And then he throws the pile of paper up in the air and he says, "You guys are ruining my life." So I started to laugh. I always laugh when people start shouting. And 2 weeks later, that person, I'm hearing that person is giving a feedback to a director about his temperament. And I'm like, what? Of course, you just make a fool out of yourself if you do that, because all I'm going to think about, hey, you are giving me feedback about how I raised my voice or I lost my temper with one of the colleagues, but 2 weeks ago you literally were throwing papers up in the air and telling the whole your XCOM team that they are ruining your life. Thank you very much for the feedback. I bear it in mind, and I might not follow your advice next time.